Good morning, everybody. This is my. I just woke up and saw Lisa off. Saw her out the door. Actually, Lisa Serafini, 50 Lines Only on Twitter. We had such a full weekend, so I wanted to give a few updates this morning because Kenny Ballentine uh, finished filming the first weekend of the healthcare justice documentary here in Tacoma, Washington. And there will be more visits to come. And Washington State is certainly not the only place that he's booked to visit and interview for this documentary. Um, but oh my gosh, what a weekend that it's been! And it's like this is the healthcare justice revolution continues, because even after seeing them off and looking forward to the edited videos that he's going to be releasing. So even though he informs us that um, the finished piece, whatever length that it turns out that he chooses, or that the work chooses that it will be, um, we won't know that for a while, because he's just going to be gathering and gathering for months and months, and it's likely it won't be completed for about a year. But what we will have is lots and lots of little pieces of footage and clips that we can share out and help get people excited about this project, and and bring people into what it is that we're actually doing. So, but I was going to say, even after the fullness of the weekend, which basically, to sum it all up for those of you who either aren't on Twitter or just would like, a more full rundown of what it was, um, filming started on Friday, all day Friday. Well, my voice is a little gravelly. I must have, between the rally and everything else, it must be kind of not with me entirely. So what it started with was Friday morning. We had a little sort of outdoor. I don't know if any of you have heard of Waldorf education, but a little like homeschooling kind of outdoor environment with just a few children, my son Graham included, and a couple of his classmates, and teacher, and myself, and another mother, and just sitting down with the children with some red yarn and people winding yarn, and talking about crafting, and talking about what is it about crafting, and maybe what other things have you knit and crocheted, because this is little children. We're not talking about the full on, like, healthcare justice thing, but although we did get into that, a little bit. And there were some really profound answers given by these 10-year-old children. And so looking back, because it's been really quite a journey over the weekend, that seems like months ago at least. But that was one of the most joyous parts of the weekend still, even though there have been many more after that. But certainly that was a beautiful beginning. And then we had some time. There was, a few hours that we had where everything began to pick up the pace. It was like that beautiful, quiet, peaceful, goodness. And then all of a sudden, we started going, and we could see pictures and updates from whole Washington volunteers. Started to head down or finishing up making their signs, and then here in the kind of Laura Fielding, Scott Denoyer, and visitors from out of state circle here in Tacoma. We were Holly came down and was hand painting signs of Rep Kilmer sponsor Medicare for all, and then Scott Denoyer and I went down and had the big Danny Strong, the pictures of his son Danny, that everybody, that a lot of people are probably familiar with, and we had those printed up on great big poster board to bring to the rally. And so some of you may have seen pictures of him holding up that poster or have had at his feet as he was speaking, and then a lot of people took pictures with the poster. So that really was a last minute idea that I had, uh, you know, and it felt important. It felt important, and especially to have it be sort of really life size. Anyway, and all the amazing whole Washington volunteers. Once we got down to the event on Friday, outside of Rep Kilmer's office, um, people showing up in their whole Washington red and their red berets, and there was really, and the Bernie van that's kind of been, you know, it's I don't know what it is now, the healthcare justice van, it showed up and was playing some music, and uh, so everybody was kind of just wandering and gathering for a while, and then we had the rally on the stairs. It worked out really very nice to where we didn't have to be, you know, too close to one another, but everybody had their masks on, um, and we did the rally, and Kenny got that kind of stunning picture of all of us. It really did make all this bold imagery of red um, on the steps there. And of course, we had different people speak, including Scott and, just Jen Nye from Hull, Washington, and Catherine Lewandowski from Hull, Washington. And, quite a few people stood up and took the mic. And then what we did after that is we took the big group photo, and then we all kind of dispersed into like four different, on one intersection, the four different corners, and that was fantastic because that was where Jen Nye, and I can't remember the other woman's name, who were just like doing dancing and leaping and circles with the sign and high kicks across, and then those videos, so the sharing on social media of all of that, all of the photos and all of that imagery, that was quite an exciting. That was a really big, exciting day for everybody. I couldn't keep up with it all. I wasn't tweeting all that much because I do get kind of present in the moment, and I got busy. I still wish that I had managed to get everyone or more people in pictures with the Danny Strong sign, um, but I hadn't seen some of these people, the whole Washington family, in so long, like with COVID and everything, that I also was busy just um, getting around and seeing everybody and getting very, very excited about the upcoming initiative process, because that I-1600 is really what brought all of us together, and we're getting ready to head back into that very, very exciting alive. It's a very like full on, which brings me to something that I'll share in just a minute, to do with berets, and about like how after I outline this weekend of everything of everything that happened and that was captured, uh, there's work for me to do this morning. The revolution continues, and just because we kind of got done with all of that, there is stuff for me to do because, yeah, well, I'll come back to it anyway. So that was day one. That was Friday, and then Saturday morning, uh, we had arranged to go down to Fibers Etc., which is my local fiber store, and split my local fiber store, and so we went down there, and that was a different kind of crafting circle, and that was really amazing because Scott came down with his. He doesn't knit or crochet, but he came down with his sketch pad and his pencils and his pens and pencils, and ended up starting, and then over the weekend completing that. Absolutely, it's on Twitter, and he shared the photo, and oh gosh, I should show and tell it on here, but it's up there. I've got it sort of. It's okay. You can look either on Facebook or on Twitter, and it'll be being shared around on Scott Denoyer's account and my own. But it's a beautiful photo of a red beret on a kind of mannequin. So he was sitting there sketching that as a few of us crafters, Lori Jackson, myself, Carlene Myers, and Lisa Serafini, and then of course Roberta, who is the owner of Fibers Etc., got to kind of sit back, and she made a few comments. Like Kenny Ballentine spoke with her and kind of got her take because she's actually from Canada. So she found, I think, the whole conversation that ensued. It depends when you have a crafting circle. A normal, I don't mean to say normal, but many crafting circles would have a lot more, even if it gets political, it would kind of, it would just kind of move on and be a little bit non-specific, probably, um, and maybe just get back to talking about what you're crafting or talking about other things. But we, of course, are a very, you know, engaged, politically aware group of crafters, and also, you know, like Lisa, she crocheted her own beret. She does craft. She doesn't craft a great deal, and neither does Carlene. Carlene has knit some scarves and whatever, but they are. Lori Jackson was there and I was there, so perhaps if there were, I'm thinking like um, people that like this, the craft is the core element for them. Uh, we might have talked more about patterns, or it might have evolved or shaped up to be something that was more about the handwork at certain points. Although I'm pretty sure I would politicize it or talk about action, because that's just if I'm there with people that are aware of red berets, I'm talking about stuff like that. So probably don't come knit with me if you want it to just only be about patterns or um, the general state of affairs or complaining about that. I want to get shit done. That's what I'm doing with red berets. And so that's why I knit for whole Washington, and it's why I knit for candidates that I know are trying to get things done. Um, I do want to enjoy knitting, and I want to relax, and I want to enjoy the creativity of something like this that's created. This is Michelle DVA's, and so it wasn't this particular beret. Um, I don't know, it was something a little more curvy. This was my specific request of her, something very geometric, and so this is mine. I'll be keeping this one. I traded it in for the other one that she gave me that I had only worn once, that had a bit more of a doily effect on the top, which is absolutely gorgeous. But for me, I wanted this, just felt right. She can really custom make any, if you want something that has gray or black or different shades of red, she can custom make it. And you don't always have to go through whole Washington. You can or not, but uh, that's what we're trying to do, is go through whole Washington and help them get donations for the ballot initiative, because we're going to need to do a lot of printing anyway. So that's a whole. Let me get this back on track. So anyway, but I'm very pleased with how that actually evolved, really. And Kenny was saying that he was as well. It was a very organic conversation. A lot of just really, that's the way things, you get good things in interviews, but sometimes just when people are interacting, relating, some really just powerful things come out of it. And we'd kind of had our good and wholesome, I don't mean to say good, but like just a little bit more of a relaxed and wholesome crafting circle the day before with the children. So I think it was really cool. I agree with Kenny, the way that this the second crafting circle evolved into being really quite specific about strategy and movement and stuff very related to what we're doing here. Whole Washington and the national movement and uh, legislature at all levels blocking us, and just et cetera, et cetera. Um, so then we finished that up and we headed straight over to Marconi Chiropractic and Wellness on MLK. Yes, I am kind of like plugging I think they deserve to, if anyone local in Tacoma does see this. Yeah, I think it's fantastic that they opened the space without question, and just said, just keep everything nice, and everybody socially distanced, and don't let many people in. But yes, please use the space, and this is important work that you're doing. So we could have all chipped in, or Kenny could have covered, like a hotel conference room. But that's so much less personal. And for me personally, being like, seeing as that I had kind of orchestrated the scheduling of each of these individuals that came for interviews all Saturday afternoon and Sunday, it felt really, we all get different levels of anxiety. Some people suffer from it a little bit more than others, and so it felt very safe for me to be kind of in my world where I do get in touch with my more grounded and peaceful self through craniosacral and biodynamic massage, um, to be able to be there and use the different spaces and put our things in one room and have like just a bathroom available to us and a kitchen and yeah, it was, and then the local little food around, so it was just like there was lots of good, felt very resourcing. So that was wonderful. So we headed there midday on Saturday. Uh, and I don't know if I can remember the line of interviews, but I'm supposed to be getting, in fact, I should probably be doing that right now instead of this video, because Kenny had asked, just again for the names and just a short thing about, who is this in the story, or the movement, right? Um, Thank you. Thanks, David. Yeah, it's still kind of like surreal. Like I kind of can't believe I kind of can't I still kind of can't believe that um, that somebody like saw us as that we deserve to be, that the story deserved to be told, and it's not only about deserve to be told, that this is healthcare justice that's happening right now. Um, if people are wondering, like, is this issue dead? Is this movement dead? Are there still people fighting for us? Of course, we deserve to be seen, and that people need this to be shared with them, so that, number one, so they can feel hopeful and not like they've like just abandoned, but also um, how they can maybe get involved, and like with uh, like the People's Party kind of in saying this is going to be the template that we're going to show everybody for our national platform. So anyway, yeah, I'd have to sit down and remember all of the good morning. How are you, Kenny? Is there stuff to see? And I was just commenting that I I haven't sent you that little quick reference list, and that might be beneficial. You might need that right now. But I was just kind of, um, well, first of all, I visited like Facebook and was looking at how everybody's done kind of at least some sort of comprehensive post of all of the different photos and everything from the, and I haven't done anything to the Red Berets group yet. Because I just kind of have what energy that I have, and I want to go through, and there's just so much in my phone, and some of it's just filled with a lot of junk that is makes it difficult. I don't put things in like neat folders or do any of that stuff. I just literally have the political revolution. Anyway, so I need to send these, isn't this funny? Fran, yours all went out into the world. I fell asleep while editing. I believe you. Yeah, we saw your thing and we were really I was like half asleep when I saw it. Then I came out to show Lisa because she was still awake and then we got talking and we got too tired and it just like so we didn't do our normal thing of like woohoo. um but Fran's berets all went out into the world. They all went out except for these three really pink ones. And it's funny talking about the pink hats. I didn't want these on at the rally, so call that my control, my controlling nature. The purple ones are fine, and the pink ones are also fine. Like I know, Grandma Sydney or Kathy, um, people like the pink. And so the pink's lovely, Fran, but just for the imagery of the rally on Friday, I didn't want the pink confusing the messaging. We are the Red Berets, not the Pussy Hat movement. Anyway, so I've got to send these and you know like I've got to send some Red Berets and mittens to Georgia today. That has to go out because she actually cannot fill fill all the orders of people who have ordered. So I need to get that stuff out to her pronto. Let me see. I kind of made it halfway through. I made it through like sort of Saturday, um, and then Sunday. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. It was just a really, really awesome weekend, and the interviews, according to Kenny, I mean, according to how everybody came out feeling, they just felt very put at ease and like uh, I mean, I just think everybody was super grateful to be included and have an opportunity to have their voice heard. And like everybody I chose, everybody who, and of course, like I was telling Kenny, if I probably have like 60 to 80 more people who I could easily that many people here in Washington State that I could add to an interview list and be like, can you please interview these people? And then I have an ongoing list of people that I would want to see him interview, movement people across the United States. Just a second. But we don't have that much, and so I had to just put it forward, start putting people on the list when I did the scheduling of not so much who is most deserving, although certainly like people that were key, people that have been key in Red Berets and the whole Washington interface. And as I say, there are more key people, but really, if there's certainly so many amazing whole Washington volunteers, uh, and even more board members. We didn't get to interview everybody on the board. Um, and of course, unfortunately, Georgia Davenport was not able to make it. She very badly injured her toe. So she was the one piece who I felt was imperative to this documentary. And it's fine because Kenny's going to be coming back. And then she'll have her toe again and be able to walk without severe pain and perhaps because these things like work out for a reason, uh, perhaps we'll be in the heart of signature gathering and he'll be able to go. Maybe he'll go out to Eastern Washington and kind of get her out there and get some voices of rural Washington. And so then in retrospect, what we'll all do is look at that and say, oh, that's like exactly how that was supposed to happen. So yeah, I see you saying, David, oh no. Yeah, that was that was my first response too, because um, of course, it's like a bird in the hand, right? Right now is when he's doing the documentary. There's never any guarantee of anything else. But but we are assured that this is kind of the beginning of the process, and he'll be back. And so Georgia will be interviewed, and whoever else comes along. There's a couple of people that feel important to me that hopefully he'll pick up on the next time, and we'll be in a will things will move very very quickly, and the piece. What he gets next time is going to be a very different energy, and everything's wonderful about right now. But this is kind of the calm before the storm. This is the I mean, I don't know, he's probably like, it was. Amazing stuff. But certainly when you're in a ballot initiative and you're in full on like go mode for signatures, that's a different energy. And so I look forward to how that all looks and how that comes in. um, but mostly I just want to say thank you to you, Kenny, and again thank you to you, Ryan Knight. I am incredibly grateful. And yeah, that's about all I have. I've got to get moving in my morning, and I assume probably Kenny does too. I don't know when he's headed out, but he's got a long trip back. Just but I'm so happy that we were able to make this with Scott visiting and Lisa visiting. Um, we were able to hopefully, I think, give a strong impression that although whole Washington and Washington State is certainly, between me, the red beret lady, who lives here in Washington State, we're a big piece of the story, and we're the sort of lead in to all of it. But there's much more to it, and I think Scott coming here. Um, as kind of connecting the two apples and connecting the national movement, uh, that was also, as I've said over and over, that was an enormous gift from Scott and his family, Anna and Emma, for being okay with him coming, because I get that people on social media, to a very big extent, they do see what whole Washington is doing. We are starting to be seen now. They do value the work that we're doing. Um, People are starting to understand that we have to kind of do a both and now simultaneous strategy, an inclusive solidarity strategy. But equally, there is still always going to be this element of like, just geographically, we are all very very separated out. We live in completely different worlds, so it is difficult even through the best intent, even though people can understand the concept, they can, of Saskatchewan province opening the floodgates for Canada over 50 years ago, and that either Washington State or California or New York, or another state can do that for the United States, and it will send shockwaves, and it will have that domino effect. People can understand that on a the whatever the word is, theoretical, as an idea, and as precedent. But but if you can't relate because you're not kind of in it, you're just kind of looking at it from the outside, right? Trying to be in, trying to be excited, and all of that. But I think people have related to Scott's story, Danny's story, and they've seen it, and he came out strongly through Force the Vote, and that's something that really mobilized and sparked people up and kind of got the movement going again. And so the fact that he's kind of brought that in, to me, as a first thing that people are going to see of all of this. That was a very, very big gift to all of us. And I know that through the personal conversations that I had with Scott, that he feels completely reciprocal about it, like that actually it's us that gave him the big gift, right? Well, that is really how this is supposed to work, and I think this is how it's supposed to work with documentary filmmaker Kenny Ballentine. Is like, we feel extremely honored and so thankful to have him hear about us and find this our healthcare justice movement inspiring and exciting to tell. Um, and equally, hopefully, this is, we're inspiring him so he can create inspired uh, and powerful work that is relevant and that can actually potentially create some change. So that is really how this is all supposed to work. Is that everybody, when we lift each other up, everybody is supposed to benefit, and that's kind of what Scott and Lisa, who traveled all this way, and Fran, uh, down in Florida, and quite a number of people, in Georgia has understood this through her, the organization that she founded is Whole Washington, but she has like worn that red beret all the time to like everything to out gathering sign. Her berets can walk around by themselves. And it's because like she's somebody who understands like um, we're much more visible, and when we lift one up, the other one gets lifted up, and this is how this works, so it's very complimentary. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave this at 32 minutes and stop and just get going with some things I need to do. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I look forward to seeing these. If Kenny fell asleep while editing, he may need to head out and get on the road and stuff, and we see those things in a couple of days when he gets back and does whatever. But we have, in the meantime, whenever it happens, we have really amazing photos and little video clips that we've all captured. So yeah, have a great day to you too, David, and all of you who are watching this. And see you soon. Bye bye.